After 5 years of marriage, Lin Xiaoji still visits the grave of her first love. Every year, she takes care of his parents, but she treats me like an enemy. She brings young men around just to show off in front of me. She even got pregnant with another man's son and said it was I who killed her first love. Until the day of the high school reunion arrived. I saw a man named Yi Chen with a face identical to that of her first love, and a sharp pain in my stomach almost made me lose my balance. The cancer diagnosis in my jacket pocket was the only thing I had left as a final offering for this marriage. Nobody knew that 5 years ago, when she was deeply traumatized, it was I who married her, I who sought psychological help so she could forget that nightmare. But she always saw me as the murderer of the man she loved, and now that I am about to die, she finally discovers that the one who deserved to burn in hell was that first love of hers. The day I received the cancer diagnosis coincided with the high school reunion. I called Lin Xiaoji several times. I wanted to ask her if she wanted to go with me, but she didn't answer any calls. She only replied to a WeChat message with 3 words: "Don't bother anymore." I went to the reunion alone and everyone was joking. "Your wife, Lin Xiaoji, is a CEO now. She's so busy she can't even come to the meeting, haha. Surely she looks down on all us old classmates now. Don't bother her anymore. Lin Xiaoji is someone sentimental." All these years she never stopped going to Lu Feng's grave. The speaker suddenly stopped and looked at me with some discomfort. "I'm sorry, Jiang Han." I forced a smile. "It's okay." They quickly changed the subject. Since Lu Feng died, Lin Xiaoji dedicated half a month every year to returning to his hometown and visiting his grave. She even took care of Lu Feng's parents. She didn't care what I thought, nor did she care that her own parents reprimanded her. She just kept doing what she wanted, to the point that everyone knew that even though her first love had died and she was married to me, there was still a place reserved for him in her heart. I took a sip of tea, trying not to think anymore. Just then, the door to the private room opened. Lin Xiaoji walked in wearing a Chanel outfit, impeccable makeup, and a relaxed expression. Her lips curved and a smile showed she was in a very good mood. My heart shuddered. Everyone in the room shouted, "CEO Lin Xiaoji has arrived. We thought you wouldn't come." Wow, our class queen is still just as beautiful and young. Come on, if you hadn't come, Jiang Han would have had a stone face and wouldn't even be able to eat. But behind Lin Xiaoji came a young man. It was hard for me to breathe. His face was like a copy of Lu Feng, with a 70 to 80% resemblance. Sorry for being late. Lin Xiaoji sat naturally by my side and asked for an extra chair for the young man. "Let me introduce you, Yi Chen." Somewhat awkwardly, he greeted timidly. "Hello, everyone." The atmosphere became very tense. No one responded. They just looked at me in silence. After all, the resemblance between that Yi Chen guy and Lu Feng was incredible, and with all these years that Lin Xiaoji has been clinging to Lu Feng, it was hard not to think the worst. But Lin Xiaoji acted as if nothing was wrong, serving plates and cutlery to the man at her side, and with a sweet voice she told him, "These are all my old classmates, don't be nervous, okay?" From start to finish, she didn't look at me once, as if I were a complete stranger. I felt a lump in my throat. At home, she was already cold to me, but now she even dared to bring another man to the reunion. Obviously, she wanted to humiliate me. A stabbing pain pierced my stomach, and I felt something rising in my throat. I stood up suddenly. "Sorry, I have to go to the bathroom." "Jiang Han, are you okay? You look very pale," asked the class representative, worried. I looked at Lin Xiaoji, who was sitting next to me. She was whispering something to Yi Chen without even glancing at me. I raised my hand and quickly walked out. In the bathroom, I vomited until everything was spinning. The pain in my stomach was becoming increasingly unbearable. And although I had always been a strong and experienced man, I couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. I didn't know at what moment someone had appeared behind me. "What's wrong? How gross," said a voice. I turned around, and Yi Chen was looking at me with an arrogant air, very different from the timid young man he had shown in the hall. I ignored him, rinsed my mouth, and got ready to leave. He blocked my path, shaking a Rolex watch on his wrist. "This was given to me by Lin Xiaoji for my birthday. Do you have one? Don't tell me she's never given you anything." Without changing my expression, I replied, "I've already lost count of how many like you came to brag in front of me, but you are definitely the most superficial." Yi Chen's face darkened instantly, but he still insisted with pride. Keep fooling yourself. Lin Xiaoji told me I'm the one she likes most. She even brought me to your reunion. Don't you realize it yet? I looked him straight in the eyes, nodded, and responded calmly. Yes, you really are special. Relax. Very soon you will be the legitimate husband. I wish you all the happiness in the world. My generous response left Yi Chen speechless. When I returned to the hall, Lin Xiaojie was peeling shrimp for Yi Chen, right behind me. She placed a peeled shrimp in his bowl. Eat, it's gonna get cold. I myself didn't know why I had come back. Maybe it was a bit of hurt pride and ridiculousness I still had left, or maybe I just wanted to see to what extent Lin Xiaojie could continue humiliating me. Before the divorce, she didn't hold back at all. The atmosphere became more and more uncomfortable. Finally, someone couldn't take it anymore and asked, Lin Xiaoji, he is? Ah, Yi Chen is my secretary now, she replied. Yi Chen smiled timidly. Secretary? To the previous men, Lin Xiaoji only used them and left them, but this one she took to her company, she with Yi Chen. Or rather, she with Lu Feng really was too devoted. And what about me? After 5 years of marriage, what was I to her? Lin Xiaojie hadn't been sitting for even 10 minutes when she said she was leaving. The classmates who were before excited about her arrival, seeing the man who accompanied her, remained silent and didn't try to stop her. Just as the door closed, someone whispered, Did you know that before Lu Feng died, someone leaked his address to the creditors, and that's why they found him? My hand trembled. The wine in my glass spilled almost completely. Just at that moment, Lin Xiaoji returned because she had forgotten her bag. Upon hearing those words, her face turned extremely somber. 5 years ago, Lu Feng was being pursued by debts and lived constantly on the run. His last call was to me. He asked me for money, and I refused. The next day, his body was found under an abandoned building, full of injuries. Clearly, he had been tortured to death. When Lin Xiaoji found out, she broke down, crying inconsolably, especially when the police informed her that Lu Feng had asked me for help before dying and that I had rejected him. From that moment, she began to hate me with all her soul. She thought I had been the indirect cause of his death, which is why all these years she treated me with coldness and distance and took revenge on me by sleeping with other men. The more I suffered, the more satisfied she felt. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I even stubbornly thought I had to wait until I died. In the end, Lin Xiaoji will be satisfied, right? She would surely say, he died well, he's dead. Lin Xiaoji returned home with me and destroyed everything she could find. Jiang Han, it was you, right? It was you who gave those people Lu Feng's location. He only called you. Even if in my heart I still remembered him, I only kept a little memory of the past. I already married you. What more do you want from me? Lin Xiaoji screamed like a crazy woman, as if I were Lu Feng's murderer. I looked at the house in a mess. Every object had been chosen by me with care, thinking of building a home. But Lin Xiaoji, without hesitating, broke them all, no matter the value. Clearly, for her this place was perhaps never a home. With a low voice, I told her, even though he was a gambling addict, even though while he was with you, he cheated on you over and over again. Shut up! Lin Xiaoji trembled with fury. It had been a long time since she had been this angry with me. She looked at me with hatred. Do you think that because he died, you won? I'm telling you clearly, Jiang Han, what's happening today between you and me is the punishment you deserve. Having said that, she opened the door and ran out. The next day, her parents came home and what they saw was chaos, as if a hurricane had passed. Her father, trembling with rage, asked, Did Lin Xiaoji do this? I didn't answer. Seeing my silence, he took it as confirmation. He turned to his wife. Call her now! That spoiled girl! Let her return immediately! I tried to intervene. There's no need, really. Ever since Lin Xiaoji became CEO, she had more and more excuses for not returning home, for not answering my calls. I had endured. I had tried to understand her. I had doubted. I had argued. And in the end, I only had indifference left. I was about to speak when suddenly I felt an unbearable burning in my throat. I began to cough violently. Her parents ran to pat me on the back. I coughed so much that I hunched over the sofa, unable to stand up. Lin Xiaoji's mother, her eyes full of tears, said, Jiang Han, all of this is Lin Xiaoji's fault. As parents, we are also responsible. Aunt, don't say that. Her father also spoke. Jiang Han, these years have been very hard for you. We never imagined that after marrying, Lin Xiaoji would become this. If we had known, we never would have. Uncle, I interrupted. It was I who decided to marry Lin Xiaoji, and until today, I don't regret it. What we agreed on back then, we can never tell Lin Xiaoji, or else everything I did, all these years of patience, would be in vain. After a long silence, he sighed, as if making a big decision. Jiang Han, you must divorce Lin Xiaoji. I was in shock. My daughter is heart-blind and reason-blind. You don't have to keep enduring any longer. You gave everything. What happens to her from now on will be a consequence of her own decisions. His mother cried even louder, but also nodded. Jiang Han, how many times in life can you afford to lose 5 years? Divorce Lin Xiaoji, find someone who really deserves you, and start a new life. We owe you too much. I smiled with bitterness. The cancer diagnosis was still in my pocket. My fingers brushed the edge of the paper. A dull pain. Does a person like me still have a chance to start over? The three of us fell into silence. It was a dark memory that no one wanted to relive. 5 years ago, for money, Lu Feng tricked Lin Xiaoji, who had then just become engaged to me, into going to his house. That heartless man secretly gave her a high dose of sleeping pills, and then allowed several men to rape her one after another. When Lin Xiaoji woke up, she broke down completely. Her mind almost collapsed, and she tried to commit suicide several times. A young woman who since childhood had been diligent, obedient, a winner of multiple awards, with great artistic talent, newly graduated from a master's degree with a brilliant future, was about to lose everything because of a single assault. Her parents were so devastated that they almost lost their minds. Finally, we had no other option but to go to the best psychologists and hypnosis experts in the country. We invested immense efforts to erase from Lin Xiaoji's mind that such an atrocious memory. But in doing so, she also forgot that Lu Feng had been the one who had deceived and drugged her. In her heart, Lu Feng remained that moonlight, that idealized love, that even after marriage, she continued to keep in silence. The case was closed. I, as had been agreed, married her, stood before her parents, and swore I would protect her for life. So as not to upset Lin Xiaoji, we had to give up reporting Lu Feng. I, for my part, planned everything carefully. I made Lu Feng incur huge debts at the casino, and when he had no way out, I made them find him. Finally, as I wanted, he died miserably. But even if he died 10,000 times, it wouldn't be enough to pay for his crime. Lin Xiaoji's mother called her on the phone, but the one who answered was Yi Chen. Ma'am, CEO Lin Xiaoji is in a meeting. She can't attend now. I am her new secretary. If you wish, you can tell me whatever you need. Lin Xiaoji's mother hung up and murmured, Since when does Lin Xiaoji have a male secretary? I didn't say anything. Why talk? It would only make her discomfort worse. Besides, I'm about to die. What more do I have to regret? The presentation of the company's new product was scheduled for the end of the month. To be honest, I didn't want to attend. Since I received the diagnosis, I haven't returned to the office. That way, I also avoided seeing Yi Chen and his unbearable face every day. My colleagues insisted, Mr. Jiang, this time many important clients have been invited who were always managed by you. If you don't attend, it really won't be right. And they were right. As one of the founders, many key clients were captured and maintained by me. I remained silent for a moment, then nodded. Okay, I'll do it for Lin Xiaoji, for the company we built together. It will be the last thing I do. As expected, Lin Xiaoji was accompanied by Yi Chen. He looked at me with arrogance and raised his eyebrows. Mr. Jiang, we meet again. Before I could respond, Lin Xiaoji was already dragging him away. Come, I'll introduce you to some people. I feigned a smile while greeting some acquaintances and then retreated to a corner to drink alone. My dad is crazy. He forced me to come. A young girl of just over 20 sat at my side, complaining on the phone. I didn't pay attention to her. I kept drinking. Quote, Hey, those two types of liquor shouldn't be mixed, don't you know? She said suddenly, raising her voice. Yes, I know, I replied and still poured myself another glass. The girl twisted her mouth and looked at me with disdain. When she was about to leave, I called her. Hey, little one, do I look so old that you call me uncle? I might be older than guys like Yi Chen, but it's because I'm mature, you understand? She turned, and seeing my eyes full of sadness, she seemed to find it funny. And you worry about age? At that moment, Yi Chen approached and, as always, began to mock. CEO Lin Xiaoji is receiving guests, and you're hidden here? Look at you! You look like a stray dog, pathetic. I felt a slight dizziness. My vision of him was distorting, and inside I just wanted to tear his face off. Get lost. Don't block my view anymore. Mr. Jiang, I know it bothers you that Lin Xiaojie chose me as her secretary, but if she likes me, what can I do? I said nothing. He continued with his provocations. You know you're redundant too, right? If it were me, I wouldn't even bother coming so I don't lose my shame. Damn, where did this insect come from? I clenched my fist, but I hadn't yet managed to act when someone at my side couldn't contain themselves anymore. Hey, a guy like you dares to show up here? I was on the point of spitting out my drink. To be honest, Ye Chen's pale face and behavior reminded me a lot of a gigolo. What did you say? I'm the secretary of CEO Lin Xiaojie in Group A. Not a gigolo or anything of that type. You're the gigolo, your whole family is. The young girl crossed her arms without fear. Quote, who do you think you're fooling? They say CEO Lin Xiaoji is very competent, a favorite of President Li, and she chose someone like you as a secretary? Unless she's blind. I arched an eyebrow, unable to contain myself. A quick glance toward her. Her eyes were large, agile, and mischievous. Every sentence hit directly to the soul. Was Lin Xiaoji really blind? Ye Chen exploded with rage, pointing at her with trembling lips. I think you're the one who only comes here to sponge off others. Security, I want you to kick this brat out. As he said it, he tried to move forward to grab her. I put down my glass, stood up, and stood in the way. Take your dirty hand away! Yi Chen was almost half a head shorter than me, fragile as a sickly chicken. In my eyes, if it weren't because his face was more or less okay, I would really question if Lin Xiaoji lost her mind and how she could be interested in someone like that. At that moment, 2 guards appeared, and the situation began to cause a stir. The whole room turned to look. Lin Xiaoji walked through the crowd. She looked at me indifferently for an instant, then softly asked Ye Chen, "What's wrong?" Yi Chen bit his lip. He was going to tattle, but someone spoke first. Dad, that guy just called Xiaoli a gigolo. A murmur ran through the room. In the front row was the President Li, visibly uncomfortable. The girl ran toward him and hugged his arm. Dad, that pale-faced guy called me a gigolo and wanted to throw me out, saying that I only came here to sponge off of others. He heard everything. He is a witness. Yi Chen stood petrified. He never imagined that he had provoked President Li's daughter. His face turned as pale as a blank sheet of paper. Lin Xiaoji forced a smile. President Li, it's probably a misunderstanding. And now they also bring the guards? Can it still be a misunderstanding? If it weren't for this Mr. Jiang, they would be kicking me out already, replied the young woman. Ye Chen, nervous. It's not true. She was the one who called me a gigolo first. Before he could finish, Lin Xiaoji's gaze silenced him. She approached with kindness. My secretary is young. Children sometimes argue. It's no big deal. Listen, whoever was at fault, just say, I'm sorry, Xiaoli, once, and that's it. She turned toward Yi Chen and gave the order. Secretary Yi Chen, aren't you going to apologize? Yi Chen looked deeply wounded, but he didn't dare to contradict her. With difficulty, he spoke. Xiaoli, I'm sorry for before. I ask for your understanding and that you don't reproach me. Xiaoli glared at him, an eye as sharp as a knife that almost made Yi Chen explode. Finally, the president spoke. Xiaoli, enough already. If you can forgive him, do it. Lin Xiaoji hesitated for an instant. A weak smile appeared on her face. She was an old and cunning fox. Those words were taken as advice to his daughter, but in reality, he was cutting off Lin Xiaoji's control. If someone from your team insults my daughter, apologizing is the bare minimum. Don't act as if you're innocent here. Even so, Lin Xiaoji couldn't afford to offend the president. She nodded reluctantly. Well, there's no more problem. When the crowd dispersed, Lin Xiaoji was frozen. She asked Yi Chen to leave first. Yi Chen was almost crying. Lin Xiaoji had planned to promote him. But she ended up embarrassed in front of so many people. Xiaoli, the young woman, still wouldn't leave. She approached to drop more words with me. I can see clearly, you are fond of CEO Lin Xiaoji, and she prefers the pale-faced boy. That's why you're drinking alone to drown your sorrows? The pale-skinned one felt proud and came to mock you, to provoke you, right? But isn't CEO Lin Xiaoji married? Don't you think this is completely inappropriate? CEO Lin Xiaoji's husband really is a pity. I think the best thing would be for you to quit. I've seen it clearly. CEO Lin Xiaoji not only doesn't like you, she even seems to reject you. I stopped while drinking, and stubborn I replied, "Girl, don't talk nonsense." She was about to retort, but I added, "And yes, I am the authentic, pity-worthy husband of CEO Lin Xiaoji." What? Xiaoli stood open-mouthed. That night, Lin Xiaoji did not return home. Maybe she went to comfort her little darling, who was suffering. Meanwhile, I stayed alone in that empty house. The loneliness characteristic of a terminally ill person completely enveloped me. I don't know if it's because of the terminal illness I suffer from, but lately I am moved very easily. Lying on the sofa, between dreams, I felt a twisting in my stomach again. Suddenly the phone rang. It was Lin Xiaoji, in a grave tone. "If you're not satisfied, take your anger out on me. Yi Chen is young, why do you attack him?" I didn't answer. She became infuriated and raised her tone. "Jiang Han, if you're not dead yet, speak! Promise me you won't mention Yi Chen again, or else." Then I said, "Lin Xiaoji, let's divorce." On the other side of the phone there was a sudden silence. I gripped the mobile and exhaled softly. It turned out that saying that was not so difficult. I heard a timid voice. It was Yi Chen in the background. Perhaps she reacted then. Lin Xiaoji laughed coldly and replied, "Perfect. You said it, Jiang Han. Stop playing at wanting to catch then escape. You don't qualify. Tomorrow my lawyer will prepare the divorce papers. As for the assets, don't worry, I won't fight you. I'll take only what belongs to me." She gritted her teeth and added, "And, just so you know, I've already hired people to investigate Lu Feng's death. If I find evidence that it was you who killed him, even if we are divorced, I won't let you live in peace." The busy tone, "Tut tut tut," sounded on the phone. I stood up suddenly. This is serious. With Lin Xiaoji's current resources, she can discover everything I tried to hide, everything I did so she would forget the past. After meditating for a while, I decided to call her parents and explain everything. Her mother, nervous, exclaimed, "Jiang Han, and now what?" Years ago, the doctors warned that we should never let her get agitated, because if she remembers, all our effort will collapse. I thought for a moment. Lu Feng has been dead for several years, and I did my best to erase the tracks. It won't be that easy to discover now. Uncle, aunt, I will do my best to calm her. Lin Xiaoji is doing this for revenge. She believes I killed Lu Feng. She wants me to pay with my life. In the end, I'm about to die. Maybe her wish will be fulfilled soon. The next morning I went to the company. Everyone greeted me with respect, except for one. Yi Chen, impeccably dressed, coffee in hand, with that urbanite air and a gaze full of hatred. "Why are you coming here?" I replied with a cold voice. "Even if you are the CEO's secretary, don't forget that I am Mr. Jiang Han of this company," although no one said it out loud. I felt many curious looks and whispers behind my back. Yi Chen's face changed, but he didn't dare to challenge me in front of everyone. I turned my back and went straight to the CEO's office. He ran after me. "Hey, even if you're the husband in name, you shouldn't. Knock on the door." Lin Xiaoji was taking medication. Seeing me enter, she quickly hid something under the table. I only managed to see the words, folic acid. What is she taking? I suppressed the suspicion and, in a sharp tone, said, "Tell me what I must do so you aren't angry." Lin Xiaoji looked at me, stunned, and then let out a laugh. "Jiang Han, what tone is that? Do you think you have the right to interrogate me?" I took a deep breath. "I know you hate me intensely. That's why I think today we should vent everything, also so you stop torturing me by picking up whatever stray cat or dog you find to put at your side. Don't you find it disgusting?" When I said that, Yi Chen had just entered the room. A shadow of anger crossed his face. But in the end, he managed to contain himself. He looked at Lin Xiaoji with a pained expression. "Sister Xiaoji." Lin Xiaoji gestured for him to approach. Yi Chen hurried, took Lin Xiaoji's hand like a proud winner, and threw me a triumphant look. "General Director Jiang Han, you still don't know? CEO Lin Xiaoji just gave me a luxury apartment in the most exclusive residential area, along with a Porsche Panamera," I frowned. Before we got married, I had joked to Lin Xiaoji, "When you are successful as a businesswoman and are a CEO, buy me a Panamera so I can say it's a gift from my wife and brag with pride," but they believed I said it out of greed. Lin Xiaoji responded coldly, "Don't come to me with community property nonsense. it's my money, and I spend it on whoever I feel like. Money? It seemed ridiculous to me. Jiang Han, when did material goods ever matter to me? Lin Xiaoji spending money on another just to provoke me. He thinks that way I'll get angry, that I'll lose control. She doesn't understand that when a heart is already dead, nothing affects it. The only thing that hurts me is that she could never forget Lu Feng. All my sacrifice, my patience, have only been a big joke. It doesn't matter. Today I didn't come here to fight with that opportunistic parasite. I only wanted to know, is it only if I die that you will be satisfied? Lin Xiaoji responded without hesitating. Exactly. Even though I had prepared myself mentally, those words hit me like a stone to the heart. The pain in my stomach intensified. I endured it and said, fine, I admit it, Lu Feng's death was related to me. Lin Xiaoji's eyes contracted. She stood up suddenly, her voice trembling. What did you say? Repeat it. I looked at her fixedly. There's no need to investigate further. I cannot deny my responsibility in Lu Feng's death. He called me himself. I tricked him saying I would bring money to save him. The fool believed me and gave me his location. And what did I do? I passed that address to the loan sharks. Ha! I'm sure that when Lu Feng died, he still thought I was on my way to save him. Lin Xiaojie was trembling. Her chest rose and fell with fury, her eyes full of hate. I knew it was you, you bastard! She screamed with so much rage that even Ye Chen stepped back a few paces. Jiang Han, damn you, I wish you were dead. She grabbed whatever she had at hand and threw it at me. Yi Chen tried to calm her. Sister Xiaoji, don't get agitated. Be careful with the baby. The baby? I stood completely frozen, staring fixedly at her abdomen, unable to believe it. Lin Xiaoji, seeing my expression, seemed to enjoy it. She raised her face with pride. That's right, I'm pregnant, and of course, the baby isn't yours. You're jealous of Lu Feng, right? Well, I'll have a child who looks like him. He'll carry another last name, and what can you do? Jiang Han, I really pity you. I felt a storm explode in my chest. My mind was spinning. Suddenly everything turned dark and I collapsed on the floor. Lin Xiaoji, how could you do this to me? All these years I endured her misunderstandings, her rage, her hate, but I never imagined she could be so cruel. Just before losing consciousness, I heard Yi Chen answer a call. Sister Xiaoji, it seems we already have clues about what happened that year. Listen, he activated the speaker. Mr. Ye, we have found new information. Lu Feng was the victim of a trap because previously, for money, he had drugged his ex-girlfriend and hired someone to rape her. Later, the victim's fiancé. I fell into a long and chaotic dream. In the dream, I saw myself in a hospital. Lin Xiaoji wanted to get away from me again. I hugged her tightly, but she bit my arm fiercely. The scene changed suddenly to the school playground. Lin Xiaoji, with a long ponytail and an innocent face, handed me a love letter. She asked me over and over, make sure you deliver it to Lu Feng, okay? Later, the scene of our wedding appeared. Lin Xiaojie had a face as pale as ash. While exchanging rings, she said to me coldly, Jiang Han, I hate you. Then came the scene where, crying, she sought me out saying she had broken up with Lu Feng. I hugged her and comforted her. Don't be sad, you still have me. Finally, I dreamed that Lin Xiaojie was pregnant. She looked at me with a cold smile. The person next to her, it wasn't clear if it was Ye Chen or Lu Feng. I woke up abruptly from the dream. Lin Xiaojie's parents were there. Both sighed in relief. Quote, Jiang Han, you were in a coma for 3 days. You know, you almost gave us a death scare. My mother-in-law broke into tears. Son, why didn't you tell us you were sick? The hospital already has your medical history. It seems my terminal stage gastric cancer had been discovered. I forced myself to smile. Don't worry, Mom. I am not sad, and I don't want you to be sad for me. My father-in-law said nothing. He only turned around and wiped away tears secretly. Then I remembered something and said worriedly, Dad? Mom? The person Lin Xiaoji hired to investigate? It seems they already found the truth. He patted my hand with an expression between pity and resignation. Jiang Han, she already knows everything. She didn't want to know the truth? Well, now she has it. Is she okay? I asked. He sighed. She is no longer that weak girl who cannot handle a blow. Forget about her for now. The most important thing is that you focus on the treatment. Listen to us. You must cooperate with the doctors, no matter what it costs. Suddenly, screams were heard outside the room. It was Lin Xiaoji shouting, "What kind of doctors are you? So what if it's cancer? Listen to me well. I don't care about the money. If there is a possibility to cure him, I will pay whatever it takes." Lin Xiaoji's father signaled the mother to take her inside. "Don't make any more scandal outside." Lin Xiaoji came running into the room, but as she approached me, she stopped suddenly. "Zhang Han, Dad and Mom will go out for a moment to buy food for you," he said. Then he glared at her and turned back to me. "Even though she is my daughter, you can be at peace. No matter what you decide, her mother and I are on your side." Once they left, Lin Xiaojie said in a low voice, "Zhang Han." How much time had passed since the last time she called me that? Maybe since Lu Feng died. I looked at her with coldness and corrected her. "CEO Lin Xiaoji, we are about to divorce. Please, do not call me that again. Hearing it gives me nausea." Lin Xiaoji's eyes turned red. She looked haggard, pale, her face full of pain and regret. "No, Zhang Han, don't treat me like that, please. I was wrong. I already know the whole truth. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." She cried while asking for forgiveness, but I remained indifferent. Desperate, she lunged toward me and took my hand. "I beg you, don't be like this. Truly, I was wrong. From now on, I will treat you well. I won't provoke you anymore. We can start over." Her touch caused me shivers. I withdrew my hand quickly. I looked at my own hand. Thin, bony. When had I become like this? I spoke to her calmly. "CEO Lin Xiaoji, do you really believe I still have time to start over with you?" Lin Xiaoji shook her head. Thick tears fell one by one. "Of course you do, Zhang Han. I can take you abroad. No matter the cost, I will always be with you, and together we will overcome this disease. Did you already forget? On our wedding day, you said you would protect me for life." I only felt nausea. I responded bluntly, "You are going to be with me? And what about Yi Chen? And with the child you two were expecting?" Lin Xiaoji seemed to receive a slap. She turned as pale as a ghost. Afterward, she disappeared for several days. Of course, I didn't care to know where she went. No matter how much her parents tried to convince me, I stood firm in my decision to discharge myself. I didn't want to spend the last days of my life in the pain of chemotherapy. The day I left the hospital, I ran into Xiaoli. She had heard part of our conversation. Her large eyes were full of sadness. "Uncle, uncle." I smiled at her like an adult giving one last recommendation. "Learn to work well with your father. Take good care of yourself, and don't forget to eat at your regular times." The next day I went home, and Lin Xiaoji also returned. Her face was yellowish. She looked haggard. She said slowly, "Zhang Han, the baby is no longer there." I pretended not to have heard. What did it have to do with me? After all, that child wasn't mine. I've already finished with Yi Chen. He isn't even my assistant now. I mocked with contempt. "Seriously? He looks so much like Lu Feng. Could you really leave him?" Lin Xiaojie hurriedly tried to reassure me. "Zhang Han, I swear to you it's true." Yi Chen's unpleasant face appeared in my mind. I couldn't avoid the sarcasm. "And what? He received many gifts from you, right? An apartment, a car. He didn't lose out at all, right?" Lin Xiaoji, nervous, hurried to say, "If that bothers you, I can take it all back." She had changed completely. From being a cold and distant woman, now she humiliated herself to win my favor. But that only caused me more disgust. The constant pain made me in a bad mood. All the rage and resentment accumulated over years exploded. I attacked her cruelly. "During all these years, you've given things to one man, then to another. And me? Did you ever give me anything?" Her face filled with regret and shame. Then she left in silence. That night, Lin Xiaojie returned. She brought hundreds of brand-name products and filled the whole room with them. "Zhang Han, before I failed you, but now I want to compensate you. I also bought a new car. It's downstairs. Let's go down to see it." I gave a hard kick to a new set of dinnerware and said coldly, "Why don't you break it all, just like you did that time?" Her subservient smile disappeared immediately. In the following days, Lin Xiaoji stayed home with me. She took advantage of any moment to tell me anecdotes of the past with me instead of Yi Chen, trying to move me with memories and feelings. Quote, "Zhang Han, do you remember? You wanted to be an astronaut and I laughed at you because you were afraid of heights." Yes, I remembered. I suffer from vertigo. That's why Lin Xiaoji thought it would be fun to take me bungee jumping. That day was her birthday. She insisted that we jump together. Gathering all my courage, I got on the platform with her. Before jumping, my heart beat like crazy. I could barely breathe. I was terrified. I told her I couldn't do it. Lin Xiaoji looked at me with contempt and whispered in my ear, "Lu Feng isn't such a coward. He can do it with me. You, never." It seemed she also just remembered that moment. She coughed with discomfort and changed the subject. "Jiang Han, I heard that a very famous doctor is coming to the city to give a conference. We could go see him." I interrupted her. "Can you stop reminding me all the time that I am dying?" "I'm sorry. By the way, did you already prepare the divorce papers? Hurry up with that." Lin Xiaoji stood in shock. "No, Jiang Han, I don't want a divorce. I beg you, don't talk more about that. Now you need me. I cannot leave you alone." At that moment, her phone rang. She looked at the screen and, annoyed, turned it off. "CEO Lin Xiaoji, treating your lover like that isn't right, is it? We are already divorced. If he replaces me, doesn't he fit perfectly?" Right in front of me, Lin Xiaoji blocked Ye Chen's number. With pain and desperation, she begged me, "Jiang Han, what do you need me to do so you forgive me?" I didn't answer. I thought, maybe there is no forgiveness possible anymore. Lin Xiaoji continued refusing to sign the divorce papers, and I, before dying, thought, better I travel a bit. I've been busy for years with the company, fighting with her, and I've hardly had a single day of true rest. When she saw me packing, suddenly Lin Xiaoji assumed, "Are you going on a trip? That seems good to me." I also set aside company matters. "Let me book flights and hotels. You don't have to worry about anything." Let me think. To the north, it shouldn't be too cold now. To the south, not too much heat either. And if we go abroad, by the way, we could. She wouldn't stop talking to herself. I didn't respond. Then the doorbell rang. I stood up to open the door. Outside was Xiao Li with a big smile. "Uncle, let's go now. The driver has been waiting for a while. I'll just put on my thermal pants and I'm ready." Yes, I had already arranged it with Xiao Li. I told her I wanted to spend a few days in my hometown, and upon learning that there were many fun places there, she got enthusiastic and asked to accompany me. I didn't have the heart to reject her, so I reluctantly accepted. Seeing Xiao Li, Lin Xiaoji's face changed immediately, losing all composure while screaming, "No, who are you to go with him? You're a girl, you should have a little dignity." I frowned. I was going to say something, but Xiao Li reacted immediately. "CEO Lin Xiaoji, I see Uncle Jiang Han as an older brother. My dad knows perfectly well that I'm going on a trip. Besides, my house's driver is accompanying me. Our relationship is completely clean and clear, so I ask you to watch what you think and what you say." Lin Xiaoji had never been confronted like that. Her face darkened on the spot. But who is Xiao Li, the young lady of the Li family of the group Apple? She didn't have to have any respect for Lin Xiaoji. Not all relationships between men and women are like yours, with your secretary, understand? By the way, I thought I saw that Ye Chen guy waiting for you downstairs. Upon hearing the name Ye Chen, Lin Xiaoji began to tremble with rage. I simply walked around the two of them with my suitcase, and yes, Ye Chen was downstairs next to his Porsche Panamera. Seeing me, he raised his head with hate in his eyes. "And where is Director Jiang Han going? Without a car? Depending on others, vehicles?" True, I forgot. You're already dying." I stopped. I turned toward Xiao Li and asked, "What does one do when a guy like this appears?" "Hit him? No, that's wrong. One shouldn't hit people. Then let's break his car. After all, it's clear he loves it more than himself." I couldn't help laughing. Only Xiao Li would dare to call a Porsche an old car. She signaled the driver, and he took out 2 golf clubs from the trunk. We each took one and walked with a firm step toward Ye Chen. He got scared. "What are you doing? Hitting people is illegal. I'll call the police. There are cameras around here." Crash! Bam! Dull thuds sounded. The Panamera's windshield shattered into pieces. Ye Chen screamed furiously, "You're crazy. I'm gonna call the police." Taking advantage of a distraction of his, I gave a blow to his phone. Crack! The mobile fell to the ground and shattered. Ye Chen lost control. He tried to hit me. Although I am sick, that weakling couldn't handle me. Besides, I had a golf club in my hand. I landed a blow on his abdomen, and he twisted on the ground in pain. I turned toward the neighbors who were watching the scandal and explained, "Everyone saw it. He was the one who tried to attack me first. I only defended myself." Xiao Li, meanwhile, continued braking the car with enthusiasm. The crowd took my side immediately. This guy is a useless parasite. He dares to seduce another's wife. And now he comes to provoke at the door? Don't you think we should hit him? I already said it. So young and with such an expensive car? Surely something's fishy. Damn it, I hate third parties in Discord. They should all disappear. Well deserved. To this kind of people, even if you beat them to death, it's not unjust. After giving Ye Chen a good lesson, I felt much more relieved emotionally. But my body couldn't take it anymore. Finally, I collapsed. I heard the doctor say, "There's not much time left. We can only use painkillers. Fulfill the patient's last wishes if possible." Xiaoli's eyes were red from so much crying. When Lin Xiaoji arrived, at first Xiaoli wouldn't let her enter, but I stopped her. Lin Xiaoji struggled not to cry. Reaching this point, "Do you have any last wish, Jianghan? Whatever it is, I will help you fulfill it. Let's divorce." She stood stunned. Then tears gushed out like a broken dam, impossible to stop. Xiaoli, furious, exclaimed, "Why didn't you do it before? Now you come to pretend you're in love? From my point of view, you never loved him. What you feel now isn't love, it's guilt. If it really is like that, could you leave him in peace, please?" "He doesn't owe you anything." I closed my eyes. Indeed, the one inside doesn't see clearly, but those outside do. My feelings for Lin Xiaoji were exhausted in these 5 years of marriage, and she, from start to finish, maybe never loved me. Finally, Lin Xiaoji agreed to divorce. We immediately presented the request in court without a reconciliation period, choosing the fastest way to end this marriage. On the day of the divorce, she looked like a soul in pain. Her parents advised her. They scolded her too, but she didn't hear a single word. Xiaoli helped me find a high-level palliative care center surrounded by green mountains and clear rivers and practically closed to the public. It is said that at first Ye Chen hired a lawyer to sue us for assault and property damage, but in the end it was all cancelled because Lin Xiaoji also went after him, and she was even more ruthless. She hired lawyers to recover everything she had given him before and even counterattacked, making Ye Chen end up owing her several millions. If he doesn't pay in a day, I fear even his life isn't safe. Xiaoli told me all these things, hoping I would feel better. Lin Xiaoji came almost every day, but she couldn't enter. She seemed like a fly that, no matter how much you shoo it away, won't go. Anyway, let her do what she wants. I lay back in a hanging chair, soaking up the sun, and sleep began to invade me little by little. I closed my eyes. Lin Xiaoji. In the next life, it's better we don't meet again.